My name is Ad Rock, and welcome back to another week of Quarter Up.
So, guys, I'm gonna be a little bit absent today because I'm pretty much just playing Pokemon Go.
I wish you were joking, but really, that's what we're all
Yep.
all playing right now.
You and everyone and their
life.
mother.
My whole life, Pokemon
Right?
Go.
Well, every week we go over the gaming news and views, and occasionally we might have a little tussle, little verbal tussle here and there.
Every day I'm tussling.
And once
It
again,
sounds so dirty. It
Krug
feels like
messed up my
someone's
video,
getting an awkward
but-
hand job.
ooh. Anyway, as always, this week I have with me Indigo
Hello.
and Krug.
Hi, I'm Krug.
Are you?
And
Krug?
while Krug fixes my video, so I'm not off the center again,
Yeah,
getting my
like
face
I
blocked
am.
off by elements.
What the
Indigo,
fuck?
how
You
was
guys
your day?
moved so hard.
No,
How?
neither one of us.
Indigo, how was your week?
My week was wunderbar. Pokemon Go came out, had major server issues, which sucked, but past that, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty damn good. What about you, Krug? How was your week?
My week was pretty great. I, for the first time, went just out on a walk with my friends, and it wasn't for the sake of going on a walk. It was to play Pokemon Go, but still, we did it, and it was really fun.
Wait, was that what you guys were texting me last night? Like on was it Slack?
English?
Yes.
You're like, I'm picking somebody up here. We're going here. You going here?
Yes.
I'm like, I'm watching the fights right now. What are you guys doing?
Yep.
Yes.
We were playing Pokemon Go.
I was working, so I had a long work day yesterday, and I had to go to the airport to drop some gear off. And then I was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go drop this gear off, and then I'm going over to Krug's house, pick Krug up, and then we're gonna go walk around and catch Pokemon. So that's what we were doing.
It was really fun. Like, it wasn't just fun because of the fact that we were, three friends walking around playing Pokemon Go. It was also fun because of the fact that there were so many other people walking around capturing Pokemon, and like, it just brought out the nerd community in a way that I've never seen before. It was gold.
It's been pretty crazy. I mean, my daughter loves Pokemon. She's getting into it now. And when we found out it was coming out, she was like, Daddy, every half hour. Is it ready? Is it ready? Is it ready? And we spent maybe 2 hours that first night just looking for Pokemon.
That's amazing.
Also, I'm trying to figure out why you guys keep saying Pokemon. It's not Pokemon. It's not Pokemon. It's Pokemon.
That's not what I've been saying.
Pokemon.
Pokemans.
I feel like you like missaying things just to make me go
Gotta
insane.
catch 'em all, Pokemans. Who says Pokemon?
We're gonna get copyright
I've
for
heard
that.
Pokemon.
For singing that
Anyway.
song because we did it so well. Speaking of Pokemon Go, can we talk about some like oodles of Pokemon Go news that we have?
Dude,
I don't know.
some
Are you
dude
gonna
got
fix my
stabbed.
camera?
Your camera's fine.
Right?
Shut your mouth.
Literally half
some-
of my face.
It's fixed now.
fixed.
You're on a delay. This doesn't need to be a part of the show.
Too bad it is.
So,
'Cause you know what?
oh God, what talk?
Oh,
Jesus
no.
Christ. Fucking
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, weird shit's happened. I mean, someone was stabbed, someone was hit by a car, some genius went out 3 a.m. in the hood and got his phone stolen.
Yep.
But then you go to a park and there's like 18 people gathered around in a circle. People are talking about how they're agoraphobes and they can go out in public and like slowly make their way and meet new people, and it's helping people with like just depression issues. And then someone found a dead body.
Yep. That trumps the rest.
All within 3 days.
Yep. That's insane.
Well, yeah, it is kind of crazy. Like the amount of people, like when Krug and myself were walking around, like everyone, like I want to say there were more people playing Pokemon Go that were there than there weren't.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it felt
like-
that way. It probably wasn't, but it super felt that way. Like, and
Yeah.
and I hate to be like the guy who stereotypes a bunch, but you'd see like, oh, this like super basic white chick who like, there's no fucking way she could even know about Pokemon Go, let alone play it. And then she's playing Pokemon Go, and you're like,
Super
oh,
basic white girl contingent totally supports our show too. So
Huh?
good job there. You alienated them. Good job.
I did.
Yeah,
I'm,
that's our
I'm
danger
just saying-
demographic right there.
I'm just saying. Boundaries were shattered, and that makes me happy. Like the
Yeah,
fact
You
that
could say that we're all coming together,
yeah,
especially in
Yes.
light of recent events. It's nice to have people not have to feel fearful in groups of people.
yeah, it's
Yes.
nice, and it's nice to like
It-
know that there are that many nerds. Like it makes me happy.
Mind you, okay, going back to the story of the
Yeah.
girl that found the dead body.
Yeah.
So the issue with this one is that she was trying to catch Pokemon, and she saw that the Pokemon was over this fence, and she decided to climb the fence and go on the other side of the fence where she found a dead body floating in the water. So I want to talk before we go into the whole, her finding a dead body thing. How many people do you guys know are willingly breaking and entering to catch Pokemon?
Well, I mean, I
Well,
might have
yeah,
it running
go
while I drive. That's like the closest thing to breaking and entering, like closest thing to illegal
That's
that I do.
horrible.
I know. I'm not looking at it. It's just open while I drive so that my eggs hatch.
I mean, so while I'm looking for a new job, if I have to wait for somebody while I'm using Lyft or Uber, I'll pop on for like 30 seconds or a minute, and I realize something's there, so I turn it off. While I'm driving, hell no, I won't even bother. Can we establish some ground rules after this about what you should be logically and safely doing while playing this goddamn game instead of,
No.
I had a moral conundrum myself yesterday. I drove around for 4 hours in the middle of LA. I got to my friend's house. We're getting ready to watch the UFC fights. And my phone, I was checking my phone, and I'm like, oh, there's a mod shop and a Ponyta within 20 minutes of me walking. Let's do it. So I get there, and then an Eevee is right behind one of his neighbor's houses. Well, I literally stopped in front of that house. My game wouldn't pick up the Eevee from that distance, and I literally debated, do I walk as close as I can to their house and their fence and their driveway to get the Eevee, or do I just walk away?
And the answer is
No.
always yes.
Well,
No.
I actually figured it's a little creepy if a grown man walks onto your property without, consent or knowledge.
While looking at the
So
phone.
I just walked away. I'll get an Eevee later.
All right, that's smart. So that having been said, talking about capturing Pokemon, probably 90% of you know this already, but if you don't know, there's a little PSA for you. If you would like to, you can start the game with a Pikachu. So obviously, if you've played, you start the game, and at some point you're put into the game world, and you have a Squirtle, a Charmander, and a Bulbasaur near you. That's like set in stone. Those are the 3 Pokemon you encounter first. But if you walk away, like physically walk away from those 3 Pokemon, they'll get out of your range, and then they'll respawn. They'll get out of your range and respawn again. Do that 4 times. On the 4th time, they'll respawn, and there'll be a Pikachu with them, and then you can click on him and capture him, and he'll be your starter Pokemon. For those of you that didn't know, if you're super angry now and you want to restart, make a new character, be sure to use a different account or a different email address, because people have been getting a little fucked with that.
There's so many other cool designs, and I get Pikachu's cool, but I mean, there are other cool Pokemon.
Yeah,
I
Squirtle's
love the new
obviously
Gen
best.
7. Oh, yeah. My daughter wanted Charmander.
Charmander.
Yay.
Do you guys remember
All
Squirtle
Charmander.
Squad in the original Pokemon cartoon?
Yep.
Squirtle Squad
Yes.
is the best. Squirtle.
Then again, to be fair, if we're talking about red and blue, I always pick Bulbasaur because I made the first 4.5 gyms
Did you really
easy.
min-max fucking Pokemon? Go fuck yourself, dude.
For a little while, yeah. And I didn't even realize what it was, and I started playing. I played up until I picked Charmander at first, went all the way to Misty. I'm like, this is BS. Restarted the game, went back to Bulbasaur, and just wrecked shop until I got to Sabrina, and I had a better team. And I was like, you know what? Let's just steamroll that shit and just steamroll the rest of the way.
See, and I picked Charmander, and even though I knew it was difficult for the first boss, because isn't the first Misty?
No, the
No,
Is it
first,
Misty or
the
Brock?
first is
Misty.
Brock.
So Brock
Misty,
and Misty.
Surge, Erica.
So Brock, resistance against fire. Misty, super effective against fire. So like, it was such
You're just
a like I was like,
masochist.
yeah. So I would like sit there and like just walk in circles and just level my Charmander until it was like
You were that
Scratch.
guy?
yeah, until it was Scratch, and they were like dead in one hit. I was like, all right, cool. Now I can finally go after this boss, and then I would just use Scratch over and over again.
Nice. That's really
Did you
cheap,
never
but
bother?
nice.
I have a few weird things in the game. Like, I would love to have a legit team take with me to a gym and like use that team like a traditional Pokemon battle.
You
But
you do
whatever.
get to. You
I think you get
to-
like one. I'm not at that
Nope.
level of battle.
You get
so
6.
so if you are playing against your own colored gym, so if you once you reach level 5, you'll get to choose a color between yellow,
Blue for life. Blue, blue.
and red.
Blue or bust.
Each of them have their own bonuses. Yellow being breeding, so your eggs either hatch quicker or something different with breeding. It's just very vague. And then with blue, which is the best, as we know, is about evolution, and then red is about power and strength. So each one of them have their own little advantage in which one you choose.
Are those actual
And-
advantages?
Supposedly,
I've never heard that before, but okay.
supposedly.
I'll have to look into that.
And so when you face off against a gym of your own color, it's you're fighting them, but it's one Pokemon versus their 3 Pokemon. Now, if you go against a gym of opposite color, you have a full team.
Right. So you if the gym has 4 defenders, you get 6 attackers, and you have to smash through all of the defenders. Why are you shooting yourself? I'm confused.
Pokemon.
Oh God, nobody gives a fuck, dude.
Pokemon.
Thank you.
Pokemon. Pokemon.
Pokemans.
Pokemans.
This is like Klukulkan all over again.
Is this like Digimon? Is Digimon similar to what we're talking about?
I'm waiting for Digimon Go.
Yeah, Digimon Go. When's Digimon Go
Digimon
coming out? All you Digimon fans.
I mean, I'll even settle for Metabots Go. I'll go for any of them, but I guess Pokemon Go is all we got right now.
Did we talk about the 8 people getting robbed?
No, we have not. So this is sad yet funny. So so when you guys go out, please don't go out alone, especially at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So this group of people was using a Pokemon stop. Yep, I did it on purpose, by the way. Or a Pokestop. Was using a Pokestop and was staying there, and then when someone would come by, they would rob them at gunpoint. They got 8 or 9 people on one night of just getting these guys. The people that were causing this were actually captured and have been is currently going through the process of being reprimanded. But seriously, guys, don't go out alone.
This is why we don't get nice things, people.
See, be like me. Go out with Indigo, your big, strong friend who can just kick people's ass. And then if something like that happens, you just run and let him deal with it.
Got it.
Basically, if you're going to play this game and you're playing in hours that aren't normal business hours that busy places have, use common sense, bring a friend. I hear school campuses are great areas. They have tons of Pokestops.
Don't say that. I don't want people like grown-ass adults going into a high school being like, I'm not looking at high school kids. I'm here for Pokemon.
College campuses, there's a bunch of places people say, if you don't like crowds, or you're just starting out, or you just want the balls and the experience, you go to college campuses. A lot of them are open. They have free parking on weekends. They have security there. As long as you're not an asshole yourself, they're typically cool with you just walking around. Public parks are great during the normal days with your, if you have kids, take them there.
Yeah.
I mean, just use common sense.
There are tons of safe places to do it. And not only that, like, it seems to me, at least in my area, that the places that already have a ton of like foot traffic are the places with the most stuff. Like, we went to like a popular little like downtown area with all these little shops and restaurants and stuff, and it always is just crammed with people. And that's where all the stuff was. Like, all the Pokestops were there. Somebody, I don't know who it was just walking up and down the street putting the what are they called, the little things that you put onto the Pokestops?
Incense?
No, it's not incense. It's called something else when you put it on a Pokestop. But anyways, they're like lure modules or something like that. They were putting a bunch of lure modules on all of the Pokestops, so it was literally just a street with like 10 Pokestops, and they're all just like sparkly pink, and we're like, whoever you are, you're super nice, thank you. But yeah, there are tons of populated places you can go and be safe. You don't have to go out at night. You don't have to go to, the fucking boonies. Just be fucking smart about it.
I mean, I live in Orange County. Disneyland's right nearby. If you're gonna walk out at night, might as well just go to Disneyland. Look at the internet, look for Facebook and Reddit. There's constantly just meetups happening. Like right now, there's a Pokemon Go meetup happening at downtown Disney, less than like 10 minutes from my house.
That's awesome.
I go over there. There's probably like 15, 20 people walking up and down Disneyland, challenging each other in gyms and everything else, just playing Pokemon Go.
Indigo and I are going to create a backpack live stream system where we have like a car battery and a Wi-Fi and a broadband modem, and we're just going to walk around and live stream playing Pokemon Go.
I think we should keep on going because we got quite a bit of stuff to go
Yes,
over
we
today.
do. We do. We have a ton.
Pokemon Go's life.
So,
what?
SGDQ, Summer Games Done Quick, raised nearly $1.3 million for charity. It's fucking $1,298,279.44 for charity, which is insane. If you click on the link in our show notes, you can go to the donation page, the page that tracks all the donations. See some interesting stats about the donations. The highest donation was about $53,000, which, holy fuck, wow.
Oh my god.
And the average donation was
That wasn't a troll, right?
No, it was a real donation.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
The average donation was like $43. So good job to everybody that donated to SGDQ. That's fucking great. If you missed it, they archived all of it on their YouTube. It's 160 parts on SGDQ YouTube. The link to that is also
kind
in
of
our
funny
show notes.
parts.
Yeah, some of it's hilarious. As I said last time, some of it's cringeworthy, and those are really the ones that you want to watch.
Oh my god. There's two stories from that I specifically remember watching live. One of them was there's a Super Mario Brothers Wii U run where the controller died halfway through.
Oh,
so they had to go back and restart.
Oh,
and the other one which was so cringeworthy, and I'm not, as a forewarning, I'm not insulting anybody, I'm not making fun of anybody. Someone decided to let the internet know that their friend had been transitioned for 2 years, and the awkwardness in the room that quickly overcame the whole room was palpable. And the friend in question that was being essentially outed for being trans for 2 years kind of looked like they wanted to kick their friend's ass.
Why would they do that?
Legitimately. Oh.
Yeah, that's awkward. I don't know why
I felt really bad
do
for that
that
person.
in that situation.
Oh. Yeah, and it wasn't even the person themselves. It was their friend that was like, "Hey guys, I'm cool. My friend's been out for 2 years." Like, you don't get it. You don't get to say that. You're not the one going through it. Let that when they want to do that.
Yeah, that's not okay. There's a lot of other cool stats. Like, there were 117 runs. They gave away 83 prizes. They had 22,854 donors and 30,842 donations. Just tons of support from the community. So good job, everybody. Good job. Moving on to something else.
Moving on up.
Oh, Overwatch.
Tears!
We're talking about Overwatch now. We're talking about something.
It's all gaming news nowadays. Pokemon and Overwatch.
Gets me moist. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So Blizzard tweeted out this really cryptic and shady ass tweet. And it's essentially a gun. So it's you see like a rifle with like a sling and all that stuff. And
it looks like a sniper rifle.
Yeah, it does look like an oldie fashioned old sniper rifle. And you see Mercy's primary weapon, the little stick she uses to heal people with, right? And it has like arrows pointing to the gun, and then you see some other shit behind it that look like, the beginnings of a Torbjorn turret, but not really, and it's pointing to the gun. And then it looks, and this is the funny part to me, because this to me feels like corporate, making fun of corporate America. What looks to be 2 emails from Torbjorn and Mercy, and Torbjorn says, "As discussed, this is the proposal rifle that can be equipped by medics in the field. Despite what my esteemed colleague will surely suggest, the application of her biotic technology is only intended to be used for healing." And you could totally see like some fucking asshole at your company like, "Hey, Krug's gonna say this thing, but he's totally wrong." And you're just like, "Go fuck
it's
yourself."
Shaped like a gun, so can we just use it like a gun?
Yeah, right. And then Mercy,
that's never happened in mankind's history.
Right.
Also, Mercy carries a pistol around, so I don't get this next part.
It's for self-defense. Mercy says, while Torbjorn has, as ever, put forth a very clever design for his latest weapon, I would like to remind everyone that my intention when agreeing to the development of different biotic delivery mechanisms was to save the lives of Overwatch agents and others in need of medical aid. With this latest proposal, it's clear that we are on a slippery slope to modifications that will inevitably result in weaponized versions of this technology, something that I have been completely opposed to from the beginning, which is like, yeah, you do carry on a gun, Mercy. Like, does it really matter if it's using your technology or if it's using other technology? Like, yeah.
She's exercising her right to bear arms.
To arm bears?
I wouldn't mind a bear Overwatch character. Kind of fun. I want a duo with a bear with that sniper rifle on its back and like a little girl. Stand in the fire of healing.
Stand in the fire of healing.
Russia.
But so the speculation here is that the next character is going to be a long-range sniper healer type archetype that honestly I've never heard of something like that happening before, but I'm totally down to play the fuck out of it right now. What do you?
There's people that have tried it before, but they've been hinting at this one of 2 characters for a while now. One theory is, what's her name? Farah's mother be coming into the game. There also has been screenshots of a character with a triangle reticle and a sniper rifle in the defense support section, which might be tied to this specific weapon design. And then there's also codename Sombra, which might be tied to either the healer sniper or to Farah's mother or a completely separate character. There's a really good theory about that potential character and who that might be in, I think it's Anne Stickney's Blizzwatch thread about Project Sombra. So there's potentially 3 characters that this could be.
In
And
the
obviously, it's
pipeline.
going to be a defensive sniper. It could be a completely new character. It could be tied to Farah, or it could be tied to Project Sombra. So it would be one of those three.
And for those of you that just want like to just drool over speculation, in one of the shorts that they do, the one where Winston recalls all the Overwatch agents, at one point in that short, it cycles through a list of all the Overwatch agents and it goes by really quickly. But if you scroll through it frame by frame, you can get like sneak peeks at faces. All the names and stats of the ones that aren't currently released are like blurred out. You can't really see them, but you can still make out faces. And some of the faces look cool. Some of them just look like fucking people. And you're just
Concept
like,
art.
I don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all really cool. It literally gives you no inkling of what they're going to do or when they're going to come out or anything like that. It's just faces of people that are Overwatch related. Like they might not even be characters they're planning on releasing, or they might be. Who knows?
Yeah, those are three characters, three mentions that are just the most interesting lately about it. And there's tons of videos on it. I also strongly suggest looking at Ann Stickney's article on Bill's Watch about it.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's either a brand new sniper, Project Sombra, or Farah.
You think you can
or
find
Farah's mom.
a link to that before we post these show notes, buddy?
If I can find it, I'll put it up there. Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. That might be in the show notes. Hopefully it'll be in the show notes.
I mean, and we'll move on real quick. It's just a little note. If you like Just Cause 3 and you're waiting for multiplayer, don't. It's not happening. One of the devs in charge is going to be going to Avalanche's, I think, another studio of Avalanche's, to work on another project. And he and the team basically don't have time to work on it. So Just Cause 3 multiplayer, done.
Awkward. That sucks.
Yeah, there's not much to it but that.
Yeah.
But I know Just Cause 3 had been really big for a little while. People were posting videos constantly on it, and there was rumblings of a multiplayer. Well, so it's worth mentioning.
Just Cause 3 has unofficial multiplayer, doesn't it?
I know Just Cause 2 has multiplayer on it.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Just Cause 3, I'm not quite sure about.
Well, I anticipate that it'll receive unofficial multiplayer if Just Cause 2 did, but maybe not. So you kind of skipped a piece of Overwatch news, bro. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, ties.
Yeah.
People didn't want to go with the coin flip. So long story short, if you play competitive Overwatch or Overwatch in general, if you had tie games at the end of your bouts, they would flip a coin at the pass, and it would let one team attack or defend. People weren't liking it. It was making some games last too long. Some games were just steamrolls. So
well, it
Blizzard
wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was the RNG
okay.
nature of attacking or defending. Like, okay, so way back in Beta Land when they were doing this tie breaking type situation for competitive specifically, it went like this. So let's say you had a hybrid map. You had a hybrid map consists of capture the point and then pushing the payload. So you would do that, and let's say that you were in a tie situation. The game would put you in a random map, and it's capture the hill. So, and I think the reason that they did that was capture when you're fighting over a single point and you need to hold it for a specific amount of time, you're both attacking and defending. So there's no if we had been on attack, we would have won. There's none of that because you're doing both. So that kind of makes it a little more balanced, a little more fair. People hated that. And so they switched it over to, okay, we're going to keep you on the same map. We're going to keep you in the same game mode. And we're just going to flip a coin. Whoever wins the coin toss gets to attack. And then whoever wins this first point gets to win the game. That's how it is currently. People don't like that either.
Sometimes it works.
Because basically, if you're in certain scenarios, if you attack, you win. Like defending is so much harder.
There are certain maps that are heavily favored.
Yeah. And it's not the maps that are heavily favored. It's the situation. Like, think about it this way: if you're defending a point, you have to win every single team fight until the time runs out in order to win. Yeah. If you're attacking, and keep in mind, if you're doing this this sudden death thing in competitive Overwatch, you only have to get the first point. You don't have to do any of the other ones. So if you're doing sudden death and you're attacking, you only have to win one team fight, and it's the first one, and then you win. Like, it doesn't even have to be the first one. If you win any team fight, if you wipe the enemy team off the point and you stand there, you win. The defenders have to win every single time you push until that timer runs out. So it's super imbalanced in terms of, like, I have to win one thing. You have to win 4 things, 3 to 4 things, depending on how much time there is in the map.
You just gotta survive.
Yeah, you just have to survive.
2 minutes.
So Overwatch is adding the concept of ties, meaning that you can actually tie. Like, if you are in overtime. So let's give an example. If neither team pushes the payload at all, and you'll just get a tie. You won't have to do anything weird in that situation. If neither team manages to capture the payload in a hybrid map, same situation as not being able to push the payload at all. Or both teams manage to push their payloads all the way to the end of a map in overtime. So meaning it took 100% of the amount of time that you were given to push the payload to the end for both teams, that will also result in a tie. So I think, and then, I don't exactly know, and they didn't really talk about exactly how that's going to affect how your ranking's going to be adjusted, if it's not going to be adjusted at all.
That's the most curious thing about it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's not going to be adjusted at all, or if it's going to go up a little bit, or if it's going to go down. Like, I don't understand how that's going to work. But
let's be honest, just skip season 1 of competitive play right now. I've been playing it for about 2 weeks. No, it's got some serious issues. And this is coming from a guy who likes going into competitive plays and doesn't mind it. Season 1's kind of borked.
You're kind of bored.
How so? Like
now, they're having issues with levers. They're having issues with competitive rank gains. Like, I literally played a game.
Levers are going to be an issue no matter what. Like,
there's
competitive, no matter what. If you're pugging and not grouping up as a group of 6, you're going to have lever issues, period.
There's also issues with people who tend to stick with one, who tend to are really good at a certain role. So there are live streams happening with like Cloud9 and other groups where they did their placement tests, and even more you can see it in other things where if a primary player was mainly a healer, they ended up being placed lower because they weren't technically being as competitive as the rest of their team.
Sorry, somebody in chat just said, Indigo, where's your fez? And he like literally spun around in his chair like a dog and then got up and left the room.
There's also issues where like the amount of points you get for what your contribution is affects how much you gain. And I've had games where I know for a fact I was contributing the most to this game. And I know it. But then I get there, instead of getting like a nice big chunk of XP, I get maybe a quarter of it. And I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me?
Here's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that they're going to do either like, okay, so you're in a tie. Everybody in the game gets a tiny bit of experience, or everybody in the game gets no experience. And that super sucks because tie games are super intense. Like when you're literally like point for point, death for death, the exact same as the other team, it gets to be super, super like hectic and stressful because you know that like I'm playing at my absolute best right now and so are they. And if either one of us lets up a little bit, they're just going to run in and steamroll because we're like neck and neck right now. And so I feel like if there's a tie game, you should get more experience. Like you did exactly as well as you should have done. And I feel like if it's no experience or a little bit of experience for a tie game, it's going to be super unrewarding. Like you're going to have this huge, tense, like climactic experience where you finally push the thing in or they finally break through your defenses and get it in overtime and you get a tie and then you get nothing. And you're like, fuck, dude, I thought we did really well that whole time. Like it's kind of depressing. But I don't know how it's going to work. So hopefully they make it work well and don't disappoint me. Please, thank you.
It's only season 1. A lot of it's done really well. It's just I feel like it's a little early. But we need to move on because we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, hold on. Before we do move on, I mean that's the thing. This is the first competitive season. Like this is their first try at this, and they even like beta was completely different than the way it is now. I mean, instead of ties or instead of the coin flip, it was based off how quickly you did it, which I still think is the fairest way to go about it. But they felt that one, it was anticlimactic because then it was like, oh, by the way, this team did it faster, so they get it. The second is that they're afraid that the meta would change to the fact that people would do it to try to do it as quick as possible versus just trying to get it done, which I don't think is a huge issue.
Yeah, I think those are the same thing, right? Like if I have a comp that can push the cart in 4 minutes and I have a comp that can push the cart in 2 minutes, why would I not pick the one that can push it in 2 minutes? Like that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. That's what their thought process behind it was. But I mean, if the worst comes to worst is the issue of ties, like I don't think it's that big of an issue. I mean, like I said, you're going to have levers at all times. You unless you're grouping in a group of 6. The ties aren't that big of a deal. I mean, I wish they didn't happen as often as they have been, but I mean, I guess that's a statement to how well they are leveling with each other.
Sure.
As for them coming up with the concept of ties, this is just them trying it out. They're going to do it for season 2, see how it works, and then go, okay, season 3, this is how we're going to do it.
And here's the part that I actually like about this whole situation is that in the forum post that the dev posted, I forget which dev it was, but link is in the show notes. He says basically like the development team doesn't really like think this is the right way to go, but you guys want to try it, so we're going to try it. Like they say like we think this is the way it currently is the right way to do it. We think it's fair. We think it's, the way it should be. And he doesn't say that exactly, but that's kind of what they implied. What, Doc? What do you want?
I have something special real quick to talk about for Overwatch before we move on, because we have to move on.
Sure.
Comic-Con scheduling just came out,
Uh-huh.
and there is a Blizzard panel about the new heroes. So speculation is the heroes coming out before Comic-Con or after Comic-Con.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome.
Like I said,
before Comic-Con or after Comic-Con literally provides absolutely no targetable date whatsoever. Do you realize that all of time itself is both
July,
before and after
No.
Comic-Con?
There is a moment of time of during
Comic-Con, but that's not when it's coming out. So all we know is that within the span of all eternity, it will not be coming out during Comic-Con.
Yep.
Okay, look, if you are on Kickstarter lately, you'll find a brand new game that's been fully funded as of today, and still has 17 days left. Anyone from the 90s? Anyone remember the 90s?
I do.
Because it's the current running joke, 90 kids remember this. System Shock is being remade, and it just got funded by Night Dive Studios. These are guys and gals who collectively worked on WoW, Bioshock, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, blah, 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 and they want to remake System Shock from the 90s, 1994 specifically, in the Unity engine. They have a demo on Steam that you can go and play. They had a $900,000 goal they actually met, and they still have half of their run. I think 16 days left as of today.
They have $937,000. That's bananas.
As of this recording, yeah. And they're aiming to put it on Steam, PC, and Xbox. No PS4s.
I don't think I ever played this game.
No,
I'm watching the Kickstarter right now. I don't think I ever played this game.
I've heard of System Shock. I never did a PC gaming in the early 90s. I didn't start getting into PC gaming until like the late 90s. But I heard about it. I knew it was a seminal game that a lot of people really, really liked. So it's kind of cool they want to remake it. They don't want to do a revamp. They want to legitimately remake the game in Unity.
Sure. Yeah, it looks pretty fucking cool. It looks gory as fuck. Holy shit, dude. That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still support it. You still have time left if you're listening to this in July and going, hey, I want to throw money into this.
Hold on.
If not, either way, there's a good chance you're going to get it.
If you donate $10,000, you will come to an executive private party and get signed box collector's edition and be an honorary board member of the Tri-Optimum Corporation with an in-game portrait of yourself hanging on the wall. That's kind of weird. So if you have $10,000, go donate them now. Yay.
Yeah, okay, so I can either have $10,000 and go on Kickstarter, which, by the way, one person has, in fact, backed that $10,000 slot, just saying.
Yep.
You could donate $10,000 and do this, or if Kickstarter wasn't a thing and you had $10,000 to throw at a game, you could actually be on the board and make money off of it. Just saying.
Right? Instead of Kickstarter.
All right.
They also have some stretch goals. They have they've already reached their 900K goal, obviously. So they get modern inventory management, modern controls, new puzzles. Oh, that's just the remake that they're planning on doing. So they'll do it if they reach 900,000, which they have. They also have a $1.7 million stretch goal where they add enemy limb dismemberment, more puzzles, ammo types / weapon settings, vending machines, basic components and research, RPG progression, weapon upgrading, hardcore mode, which is no respawn,
Jesus.
Iron Man mode, which is only one save game. If you die, the save is deleted.
That's awesome.
That's cool. I like
that's something
Iron
you would
Man
have
mode
on a stream.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd be down.
I do like that after their 1.9 million, they have others, but they're like blurred out, so you can't see what they are.
You'll never get to them.
You mean 1.7?
No, there's a 1.9 million, which is the remix.
Oh, I didn't see.
Are you looking at the under stretch goals? There's a 1.1 million, which is Mac and Linux version. Then it says 1.2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, there is no 6. Go straight to 7 and then 9.
Oh,
and
I
then
see
the
it
rest.
now. I see. Yeah.
So, if you're curious about why this is considered a seminal game, it is a game people really love and they want to get it kickstarted. A lot of developers, Irrational came from System Shock 2, and its Deus Ex series, and Bioshock are both considered spiritual successors to System Shock. So if you kind of want to see where it all began, that's the game you want to play.
Yeah, I'll play this. All the tech demos that I see on this Kickstarter look really fucking cool. Like the idle animations look really smooth. Like it just looks really smooth. I like smooth games. I'll play it.
It's a pretty cool team behind it.
Yeah,
it's a great team behind it. It's a great idea. If you're gonna remake a game, might as well remake something that people haven't played in a long time.
Sure,
that you can't get easily.
Right. I can dig this.
Unity means almost anybody can play this game.
Yeah, Unity is a great engine. Moving on to the
Moving
east side. Drivergate.
Let's get controversial.
Drivergate time. Oh my god, this story is fucking hilarious.
Okay, so background info on this. There's a YouTube channel called Larry Bunny Jr. He does a thing called Fact Hunt, and it's about
That's Fact
weird things that
Hunt.
happen. Yeah,
Fact Hunt.
They're videos like the top 5 offensive cheat codes in gaming, or games recalled for shocking reasons. One of them was 5 purposely broken or unbeatable games and other scandals. And Driver 3 showed up about it. I believe it was 3 major gaming scandals that were buried. And so people were asking so much about what was up with Driver 3. Larry went back with some help from people online and did a driver, he calls it Drivergate, and tells you technically the full story of what happened. Between this and like Unseen 64's videos of what games got canceled that never showed up, like Daredevil, Superman for the next gen and whatnot, it's amazing how games can get fucked up or just don't show up for it baffles my mind that people purposely let this game go.
So for those of you that don't know, Driver is a series that was released before GTA, and it was like the GTA before GTA. It was the driving, killy, shooty, murder game. And it had a lot of hype behind it. Like it was like, imagine the hype of GTA, but it was for Driver instead. And it everybody was begging for it to come out. There's so much hype around Driver 3, which is what Drivergate, the Drivergate scandal surrounds. And it got to a point where they wanted to capitalize on the hype, and they had put so much money into the game that they had to release, but they didn't have a ready product. Like, it was buggy as fuck. So what they did was, since all of these gaming magazines, and yes, back then gaming magazines were the places that people got gaming news from. Yeah, they're still existing.
We technically are the new gaming magazines,
right? Exactly.
Online websites.
So they went to a gaming magazine and said, "Hey, we'll give you a preview copy of this," which is a huge fucking deal for those magazines, if you give us a 9 out of 10 in your review. And so they agreed. They gave the game a 9 out of 10, and the game came out. And like in the video that's in the show notes, you can see how fucking atrociously buggy that game is. Like, it was awful. It was unparalleled. Just so bad. And so everyone flipped out, and they did even worse things after that. Like, they did not take that backlash and go like, oh, maybe we made a mistake. We should, be honest and cool and stuff like that. Instead, they hired a marketing team that like used guerrilla forum members to like go in there and reply to comments that were like, this game's buggy as shit. And they'd pay them to say like, this game isn't that buggy. It must be your computer or whatever. It's a fucking mess. This whole story is a mess.
So there's 2 things to this. A lot of people since then have been trying to find their old Driver copies and play it, and they're going, yeah, it's bad. Yeah. It's a bad game. But apparently it's not as full-blown buggy as the video claims it is. It is buggy. There are lots of parts of it that are completely unplayable. But it's not. And
I feel like any game that has any part of it that's completely unplayable should not get above a 3.
But here's the coolest part.
Out of 10.
So at a certain point, the Driver series is picked up by Ubisoft. They decided they were going to try and reboot it, and then realized, Driver 3 really botched the series. So they took elements and technology from the Driver series and used that as the backbone for Watch Dogs. So technically, if you want to be like, if you want to use the Overwatch Titan connection, like the remnants of Titan became Overwatch, the remnants of the Driver series have now spawned and created the Watch Dogs series.
Right. Mm-hmm. And, good riddance to the Driver series. That steaming pile of garbage that it was.
But definitely let's watch all the Fact Hunt videos, and then also watch the Unseen 64 videos.
That's Fact
if you want to know,
Hunt?
I was being specific. Fact Hunt.
Fact Hunt? See, I'm enunciating very clearly.
I just now realized why you kept pronouncing it like that.
Yeah.
Because it never crossed my mind.
Yeah, Fact Hunt can be Fat Cunt really easily.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
See, it never crossed. Unseen 64 videos are great. Especially if you cares about games that never got a chance to get off. Like the Daredevil game that was supposed to come out.
We talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
I know, but that's just one of the games that are like that. That's like, oh, why? Why do people suck so much?
Well, I mean, when you decide to make a Daredevil grind on telephone wires because Tony Hawk is popular right now.
The early version of that game was awesome. The early pitch of that game sounded amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have played it. But the second that I have to balance a little meter between up and down so that I can stay on the telephone pole, I'm out. I'm not down to climb. No.
So what's next, gentlemen?
TF2 is copying its little brother, Overwatch. Obviously, these two games are very similar. TF2 and Overwatch. Overwatch is just super highly polished Blizzard's version of TF2. And I'm sure there's fucking other games, but those are the two elephants in the room. So TF2 has announced that it's introducing a competitive mode into its game, which has been lacking for the past, 2 decades? I don't know how long the game's been out, but it's been out for fucking ever. Here are a couple of details about it. Similar to Overwatch's competitive, you must stay in the game until it's completed. You can't join a game in progress, unlike a quick game where if somebody drops, somebody new can take their place. Unless you are the one that just disconnected from it momentarily, you can rejoin a game. There are no random critical hits. For those of you that don't know, TF2 has a crit system that is RNG based, so that is turned off in competitive mode. Shotgun spread is fixed. Again, another element of RNG. Shotguns have a variable spread, so that's kind of been set to a fixed number so that it's not affecting the gameplay. There's a best of 3 for control maps or best of 5 at higher ranks, and for attack/defense maps, it's basically the fastest team wins, similar to the way Overwatch started doing it in beta. This is the part that's interesting to me. You have to have the mobile authenticator application linked to your Steam account in order to play. Or if you don't have a mobile phone or you don't want to do that for whatever reason, you can buy your way in for $10, and that's apparently the special super low introductory price. So there is a barrier to entry. And the reason that they state that you have to do this is either, one, the mobile authenticator gives some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Accountability to you. So I signed into my account. I know that I signed in because I have my mobile phone and I played the game and I cheated. And so you're going to get banned. And also they stated that you're going to be VAC banned, I guess, which is banned from multiple Valve games at once, which kind of sucks. Or you could pay $10, which is, kind of a barrier to entry for people that want to come in and cheat and then get banned and then come in and cheat again and then get banned and come in and cheat again. So they're just going to have to spend a fuck ton of money, which they don't anticipate a lot of people are going to do. So it's kind of a way to keep out the plebs, which I'm okay with. So here's another interesting part that's kind of like Overwatch, but a little different. So after a match is over, you can be singled out post-match for exceptional gameplay and awarded a bronze, silver, or gold medal in the categories of killing, damage, healing, and support. Your performance is benchmarked against recent global performances by players of the same rank. So it's not just your team. It's
interesting.
It's an average amongst, people that are your similar rank that have played games, relatively recently, which I think is pretty fucking cool. You can see how you match up, not just against your team. Because, I got top healing, so what? I was the Mercy on my team. I obviously got top healing. If I didn't get top healing, I wasn't left clicking. I could left click for 1 minute and get top healing in this game. It's Mercy. So I think that's all really fucking cool. And I think that kind of begs a question, right, guys? You want to talk about this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Does it really ask a question?
I think it does.
Which is better, TF2 or Overwatch competitive?
Boom.
So now this is just speculative because we do not speculative. Fuck it. I'm not even going to try it again.
Speculative.
Because we have not had an opportunity to play Team Fortress 2 competitive. We're just basing it off the information that we have been given. So, right. Krug, why don't you start us off? What do you feel is better?
So TF2's fucking competitive shit is actually on point. This is great. I'm down.
Okay. All right. And Adrock, what about you?
Look, since we've already were talking about Overwatch earlier, I'm legitimately going to take its side despite some of the issues I've had prior. I believe that Overwatch's competitive sets itself up for something really, really goddamn great.
Awesome. All right. Now that we know who's on what side, this is the part of the show where I get to lean back in my chair and take a little nap while you guys pretend to argue.
What are we arguing about? I'm over. We already know how Blizzard does games. They take the
Wow.
game that was pretty good and that everyone liked, and they make it better. They make it smoother. They make it more interesting, and they make it more fun.
It
So you can
sounds
give me
like
the coin now,
it sounds
and we
like
can move on with our day.
it sounds like you're resting on your laurels right now. It sounds like you're not talking about the fact of the debate, and you're just saying Overwatch makes games better, therefore I win. To which I say, go fuck
I mean,
yourself.
it's only taken,
which
it's
I
only
say,
taken
go
Team
fuck
Fortress 2 10 years to introduce some kind of competitive. I looked up the dates. They were released in 2007. They spent all that time. They have tournaments, yeah, sure. But all those crit things, all those shotgun spreads, people were like, I can't. Why? Why? Why do you give it so much random chance? And now they finally release it, and they're like, well, it's been a while. And honestly, we're probably never going to release it because the other guy showed up. So, fuck. I mean, let's cobble.
That was 100% speculation. Absolutely none of that was based in fact.
Oh, come on.
Just because they haven't released it until now doesn't mean that they didn't release it for any number of other reasons. Like, for example,
hey guys,
we don't think people want this right now.
Making a new movie, we should make a movie as well and make it better. That Secret Life of Pets looks kind of cool. How about Zootopia, motherfuckers? That's exactly what happened.
Look, there are a number of reasons that
I heard that Overwatch is doing competitive. We gotta do competitive too. But it's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a really rough start, but they're still doing it better than us. Fuck.
I haven't heard a single fact come out of your mouth. Anyways, TF2 competitive is 100% like in every meaningful way the same or better than Overwatch's. You still have the systems in place to keep out cheaters. You still have the systems in place to make sure that everything's fair. The balance is completely reworked specifically for this game mode. You still have the same type of control and, payload maps in TF2 that you have in Overwatch. And you have the added benefit of having systems specifically set in place to keep cheaters out, like having people have to pay to access it, or like having people have to authenticate with their phones in order to use the service. And I think their ranking system is way better. The fact that you can get, after a match, ranked globally amongst all other matches of your rank and see how you rank, how you stack up against those other people is really cool. And then everything else is the exact same. You can't leave in the middle of a match. If you get dropped, you can reconnect, but nobody can reconnect and take your spot. Like, it's the exact same with the exception of some things are better.
Yeah, like Overwatch. Now, the only reason why I say this, this is where I'm going to really look. I can't argue the games themselves; they're virtually the same. The archetypes are virtually the same. I think the synergy between characters in Overwatch allows for much more interesting gameplay than the synergy between, say, Scout, Engineer, Heavy. Like they all synergize in Team Fortress because I guess the class is just a class. There's nothing that really gives that gives much of a benefit in Team Fortress that Overwatch doesn't do better. Everyone, Lucio and Mercy energize with each other really, really well. All those last second res on top of the point are so much more exciting. The gameplay and the exciting moments are so much more frequent. They're more bombastic. They're colorful to look at. Plus, you've got Blizzard, who also acquired parts of esports broadcasting. Hey, that's something we got to look at. We're looking competitive, not just the game itself, but how it's going to get out there.
TF2 already has a thriving competitive scene. As a matter of fact, a lot of the TF2 players play Overwatch too. Like it,
yeah, that's
they
fine.
Already exist.
But if you're gonna talk about getting Team Fortress on a not just Twitch, but beyond Twitch to that broadcasting service, it's not gonna really work.
So you're saying that Overwatch is doing better because they have more money, but I'm not talking about how much money they have or how successful they're going to be. We're talking about which one's better. Which one is better?
And its ability to show off its competitive play to the masses, I will give it. Just give me the point. Give me the point. Let's move on. Just do it. I got the point. Let's keep going. No, but seriously. But while he's doing that, look. I honestly do believe that if you're talking about showing off a competitive game, if we're talking Counter-Strike versus Overwatch, holy fuck, I cannot argue that one. Counter-Strike has had such a goddamn great spectator mode that it's hard to argue that one. But we haven't even really seen any kind of spectator mode just this yet from Team Fortress. And I can already tell you sorry,
TF2 has a spectator
could be wrong.
mode.
But is it something that we can actually use for tournaments? Like I tried to watch tournaments.
Yeah.
Spectator mode for Team Fortress 2. I can't. I honestly can't.
What's the problem with it?
I cannot follow it. I cannot follow it.
You can't follow it. Why?
Or,
What is different about Overwatch than Team Fortress 2 that makes it so you can watch Overwatch but you can't watch Team Fortress 2?
it's something about Team Fortress. It's like Battleborn. I cannot watch a Battleborn stream live. Something about the game when it's being spectated in spectator mode is just rough for me to hold on to. It's personal opinion. It's not really a fact, so that's not the greatest thing to use. But also, we're speculating about this right here. If I'm going to watch a game, if I'm going to sit down for an hour and have color commentary and analytics commentary run with it, I want to be entertained by it. When I try to watch TF2's competitive through that spectator mode, I'm not enthused. Playing it, it's really fun. It's like baseball. I love playing baseball. I can't stand watching it.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I thought I was going into this as the underdog, which is why I wrote on my side of the screen TF2 vote for the underdog. But I honestly haven't heard you say anything that isn't just like, well, in my opinion, this is cooler. Like TF2 has legitimately improved upon Overwatch's competitive everything. Everything that isn't the exact same as Overwatch is better. And I haven't heard you refute that, so I don't know where we're going from here. Like, aside from me getting that fucking hot, sexy coin win to go sit his ass back in that fucking chair, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, no, that's really not the case. No.
If anything, TF2's easier to watch because everything's kind of like more simplistic. Like, you don't have tracers blinking in and out of things and stuff.
Simplicity does not equal great to watch or go with. I honestly would rather watch a game where someone can so I can watch it happen and someone can tell me what's going on and what's happening and why this strategy is being used than just, yeah, Heavy's coming out with the chainsaw and then he's being Ubered and that's the only real team synergy. Another pushing the point and then that's payload. That's it. Not sitting there going, yeah, they're actually on the fly moving this squad around because they are countering either like a troll 5 Torbjorn pick or they realize that, hey, this Lucio needs to go down. So who can counter Lucio? Okay, wait. Now this team is defending their Lucio by doing this and this with their team. TF2, it's like, okay, well, he's got 2 engineers, and then they're going to set up turrets, and they're going to put teleporter up, and there we go. It's not as much fun to watch something like that. Oh, he's got backstabbed. Okay, cool. That's nice. Let's keep going then.
I think that you're just detracting from.
Are we still arguing about this?
Yeah, because you're not here. I think you're just detracting from
let's just end this now.
Awesomeness of the game by just having a bland
realizing
voice
that
afterwards.
Overwatch is just a better version. Its competitive version is gonna be better to watch and enjoy.
You're disgusting.
All right, since I missed 90% of that argument, I'm gonna give my point to no one. So that being said,
lame.
Yeah. You want me to flip a coin and be just as bad as Overwatch? Oh.
Get wrecked, kid.
I mean,
that being said,
you're late, just like Team Fortress 2. So either way, you're wrong. You're off on this.
Either way, Krug is going to put a link out in chat as well as out on Twitter. So we want to hear your guys' opinion, and you guys go ahead and vote while we move on to the next piece of news, which is another kind of pseudo PvP based game called Evolve. So Evolve originally came out on Xbox, and it kind of came out
Nothing.
And it kind of came out with less than stellar reviews.
Yep,
and
that's putting it lightly, sure.
Yeah, and so it basically was a team of 4 people who go out and kill one specific monster, or that one monster kills, all 4 of the other people. Now, the thing about this game is that was it. That was the whole game. That was literally the entirety of the game. But it was a full-on $60 game. And then on top of that, I believe with all of the add-ons and season passes and all that other shit, it was almost like $200 for the entire package.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Which was
the biggest issue.
Yeah, which was insane. And it got a huge amount of flack for that. Like, huge amount of flack for that. But we're not talking about where it was. We're talking about where it is now. So after all of this and all these problems and whatnot, they've decided that they're going to now release on PC. But here's the kicker. It is going to be free to play. Ooh. So now you're going to be able to play it on PC, free to play. They've decided to change the name up to give it to spruce it up, which is Evolve Stage 2, Ooh. Referring to the fact that the monsters actually can evolve and change into different upgraded versions of themselves.
Right.
You can go ahead and download this on Steam right now for free and play it. Now, their main form of monetization is the fact that you can get different colors for your monsters. You can unlock additional monsters. You can unlock additional heroes. All of this for, the mere price of your soul. So
It's a little expensive, yeah.
That being said, we're going to actually be streaming that after Quarter Up, just so we can, give our opinions about it.
Yeah, see what it's like.
I feel so ambivalent towards this. Like, just, yeah. I tried playing the tutorial and going through it. I'm like, it's not bad. Just,
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks pretty. I don't know. I played the tutorial too, and I just want to see what it's like with a group of people. That's my take on it.
I've played this game on on Xbox with a friend of mine. Well, let me rephrase that. When it originally came out, I tried to play with a friend of mine online, but they were having massively bad server issues. You couldn't group up with friends, and if you could group up with friends, you couldn't then queue as a group.
Oh, this will be fun.
It was really well. This is when it originally came out on Xbox.
Sure.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any issues on PC as of yet, but I also have been seeing the mixed reviews in Steam that it's not the.
I can't help but feel that some of that was just anger that followed through from the console version.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell where this game is because it was one of the first prolific asymmetrical games that allowed PvP content. I mean, technically, Left 4 Dead was one of the first, but it wasn't a 4-on-1. It was a 4-on-4 with two different types of teams.
Sure.
But since then, we've had more games with an asymmetrical slant to them.
Yeah.
And their shelf lives are interesting. They're kind of unpredictable. So I wonder if going free to play and on PC is going to be helpful to this.
I personally don't feel like it's going to be its saving grace. I do feel that it's going to give it a little bit of life in it, a little bit longer than they were originally planning, but I don't think this is going to be it's really hurrah.
Well, and I thought I put this in the notes, but I didn't. Their player numbers rose astronomically after they released on PC. Like I don't remember the exact number. I'll try to find it for after the show and put it in there so you guys can get exact numbers, but it was enormous, the amount of people that they gained. Obviously, similar to, the way the Division started out with 2 million players and now has 150,000. It's not about getting them, it's about keeping them. So
exactly.
We'll see.
Well, and it's also about keeping those whales. Because we know that free to play isn't based off of, the many people that spend a little bit of money. It's about the few that spend a ton of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, South Park, for teaching us that.
And so we're, I don't wish negatively on any sort of game whatsoever. I hope that they do well. Unless they change or add to the game a lot more than what they originally had, having additional monsters and having additional heroes to me isn't extending its life. It's just kind of, limping along. They need something new or different that's going to really benefit them to keep playing. Maybe they have, they add 2 monsters and 8 players. You know what I mean? Like different stuff like that. That's would be really interesting.
Great idea. To multiply everything by 2.
That, or have it so that
that would destroy.
What about 4 monsters and 1 hunter?
Yes, totally.
That would be
right.
Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah.
So we're going to end this week with a little bit of interesting news, and it's kind of really cool and promising for the future of physical sports and esports and their worlds coinciding. So if you follow soccer or football, Manchester City is one of the first 2 football clubs to start to recruit professional FIFA esports players. West Ham United signed Sean Dragon Allen earlier in May, and then Manchester City decided that they were going to pick up another FIFA player, Kieran Kez Brown. And what's basically happening is that Kez is going to be representing Manchester City at public events and at esports tournaments, which most likely he'll only be playing Manchester City when he goes and plays attorneys. Now, what they're trying to basically do is cross-promote not only the FIFA games as they come out, but also Kez as a personality for them, and have Kez build their brand on a new platform that they might not be as successful in, or they wish to solidify their presence in, which is social media. And FIFA has a huge social or internet presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't think about it; it's not as widely streamed as other games.
Well, you do if you follow FIFA.
But FIFA is just like football being the most played sport in the world. FIFA every year is about as big as Madden.
Yeah, it's huge.
And this is not the first time. There's not a it's starting to grow more and more. Like there's a lot of it's happening in League right now as well. So like formerly Mark Cuban I think is still looking for a team, and he famously had the F-bomb interesting thing happen at IEM San Jose, which is hilarious. Rick Fox from the Lakers, most famously, he owns Echo Fox, a league team, and I believe was it German club FC Schalke 04 bought Elements. I don't know if they'll stay as Elements, but they the German club actually bought them, and they're gonna have a league team. So it's not the first time this has happened, but it's the most interesting because it's not just them buying a team and promoting a team; they're legitimately cross-promoting between the digital realm and the physical realm.
Which is one step forward to us being legitimate people. Yay! I think that's it for the news this week. Is that it for the news?
Which I'm kind of upset because I can't believe we didn't talk about the CS:GO guy.
I didn't want to talk about the CS:GO guy.
Really?
Let's keep this short and sweet.
Somebody had a CS:GO gambling site and a YouTube channel and promoted his CS:GO gambling site on his YouTube channel without saying that he owned it. And people think that he's gambling or allowing minors to gamble or whatever. And there's a lawsuit. He got put in a lawsuit with Valve, and he's kind of a fucking tool. So I'm not going to give you any names because he's a fucking asshole, and I don't want.
Not just him. There's multiple people.
Yeah.
Other streamers are starting to jump in front of the bus so they don't get trashed too hard. Basically, if they knew they were doing something illegal, they're trying to get out of the way now. But they're starting to round people up. The next few weeks will be interesting to see who gets caught back in the crossfire and who gets away from it. Either way, it's all highly illegal.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
See, there you go. Now we talked about it. Now I'm happy. That being said, thank you guys so much for joining us this week on Quarter Up. We really appreciate it when you guys come live and watch us and participate in chat with us. And for those people who are watching on YouTube, please, we want your participation as well. Please give us a like, a comment down below. It's super important.
I just got a text. One of my friends who dislikes Pokemon Go, she's in Hollywood right now. She just says, quote, "Just overheard this walking to my car off Hollywood Boulevard. One girl says, I can't believe you left the bar for this. The other girl said, yeah, I know. I can't believe you're walking into a Louis Vuitton to catch Pokemon." And she just could not stop laughing and wanted to send that to me and go, you know what? You're right. Fine.
Nice.
Pokemon Go is really popular.
Apparently someone was at a nightclub last night. And while they were at the nightclub, people were not only dancing, but also catching Pokemon at the nightclub.
That's the best.
All right. Anyways, back to my spiel. If you guys want to get a hold of me, Indigo, you guys can tweet me at IndigoQT. If you guys want to shoot me an email, you guys can email me at indigo@QueueTimes.com. If you would like to tweet at all three of us, you can hit us up at @_QueueTimes. Krug, what about yourself?
My name is Krug. You can email me at Krug. No, not at. You can tweet me at KrugQT on Twitter. You can also email me. My email address is krug@QueueTimes.com. And if you want to email all three of us at the same fucking time, you can email QU, it's the letter Q and the letter U, at QueueTimes.com. Doc Adrock, what about you?
At Adrock Draws on Twitter. Best way to find me.
Boom. Short and to the point.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. I'm Indigo, and I'll see you guys on the forums.